When you see the whole world shaking and you feel your heart is breaking, take my hand, no hesitating. Oh, when you're just so tired of trying, all alone you feel like hiding. Together we'll keep fighting. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't stop now. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna mountains too high we can climb it. Feel this, we're taking the moment. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Can you see the sun is shining like a new hope? Feel it rising, coming over the horizon. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't stop now. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna mountains too high we can climb it. Feel this, we're taking the moment. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. There's no stopping.
Good evening. We're live now. This is not pre-recorded. I was trying to get on at 7 p.m. Had technical difficulties with the software. Had to reconnect with my social media accounts. Had a couple issues, but I think I worked them out. I think I'm live everywhere where I'm supposed to be live. So I'm Chris Garguilo, and this is Real Estate with Mr. G. It's my weekly podcast, video podcast. I actually then loaded it up to Spotify as well. And I have my blog, Real Estate with Mr. G.blog, where you could read the articles, the minimum of 5 articles per week, as well as about 3 videos. I should be adding more towards it. So, and it's all about what's happening within the real estate industry, as well as what's going on with mortgage rates and so forth. And there'll be articles and videos about that as well. I am an associate broker and licensed referral specialist with Real Estate with Realty Connect LLC, and with it, I could help you or assist you find or list a home anywhere within the United States of America. So basically, you contact me. You could do it via the various social media destinations I'm at right now. You could contact me directly, and we will discuss and find out what your needs are and where you want to move or where you want to list a property. But then I would add you, or you can directly add yourself to my website, and then you will be sent info and be called upon by 3 top agents within that locale, wherever you're looking to purchase a list. All right. And then you make a decision which one is best for you. All right. And there's no additional cost for this. There's no fee going to me. I get paid at closing. Okay, so if you're buying a home, no additional fee, no fee. Usually, when you're buying a home, there's no fee. It's always on the seller side. And for sellers, whatever commission you set up with your agent, I get a portion of that. So there's not an additional cost to you if you use me to list a property. So why don't we check out a little video that I put together that sort of puts this all together. Wasn't that exciting? I love that music. I own the rights to that music. And I know it's very Western sounding, but kind of like it because it shows the broad spectrum of the United States of America and how I could help you anywhere within the United States of America. Okay? All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Let's look at our guest who brings in our topic question and see. I believe this is Chase from, might be Newark, New Jersey. Let's see.
Good day, Mr. G, and thanks for allowing me on your weekly video podcast. I am a first-time. Good day, Mr. G, and thanks for allowing me on your weekly video podcast. I am a first-time home buyer, but with high home prices and mortgage rates, I may not have enough money for a down payment. Are there any programs available to assist me? Any suggestions would be most appreciated. I love your weekly podcasts and watch with my family and friends. They are truly highly informative and fun. Keep it going. Thanks, G.
Thank you, Chase. That was very nice, and thank you for that compliment. There are many programs out there, and we're going to look at this article that was on my website last week about what you need to know about the down payment programs that are available. So let's switch to that. All right, what do you need to know about today's down payment programs? So, with today's number one, high home prices, and number two, high mortgage rates, home buyers are a little, scared or nervous or anxious about purchasing a home right now, and they may not have the money with the down payment for it. And among other things that they have to do is closing costs as well. All right. Recently, the Bank of America Institute study asked prospective buyers where they lack confidence in the process and need more information. And this is what topped the list. So 53% said they need help understanding home buying grant programs. So what is the down payment assistance program? Down payment assistance programs, or DPAs, offer loans and grants that can cover part of all of a home buyer's down payment and closing costs. More than 2,000 of these programs are available nationwide. DPA programs vary by location, but many home buyers could be in line for thousands of dollars in down payment assistance if they qualify. So, and here's some more good news. On top of all these programs, you probably don't need to save as much for your down payment as you think. Contrary to what you may have heard, typically you don't have to put 20% down unless it's a specified by your loan type or lender. So you don't have to save that many upfront. But again, there's these grants for first time and repeat buyers are often eligible. It's also worth mentioning that not just first time home buyers that are eligible for many of these programs. That means whether you're looking to buy your first or your fifth, there could be an option for you. Now, these articles feed into my blog. I think there's a little error in this area over here where it says you don't have to be a first-time buyer. Over 39% of all home ownership programs are for repeat home buyers who have owned a home in the last 3 years. Now, with my experience, is that you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years. Okay, so you had a home and then you sold it and you haven't had your own home for 3 years and now you're eligible for the first time buyer program. So I think that's I'm going to check with the source of it because that's been my experience, because basically they don't want people to, and these grants are for owner occupier. You can't be an investment. You can't be an investor buying homes and then renting them out using this wonderful resource. So that might be a little typo there, and I will check that out. Now, I was working with one mortgage company where they had grants. One was they were giving the buyer $5,000, and that money could be used for the down payment and or your closing cost. But there was a little stipulation that you had to live in a house for 5 years to have it completely free. Meaning, let's say you left after 3 years, you sold the house. There was a possibility that you would have to give $2,000 back of that $5,000. So you have to be very careful how it's written, what's really involved with that grant. Now, the mortgage broker said he didn't know of anybody who had to give back money. Maybe with the buyers he worked with, if they sold their home under the 5 years, but I wouldn't want to say that's set in stone. Just be careful with what you read, and if it says, it may be prorated if you leave before the 5 years, you might just have to pay some of that back. Okay. And then that grant program, it was higher for city workers. Like here, they talk about teachers, right? Teachers Next Door is designed to help teachers, first responders, and health providers, government employees, and active duty military personnel, and veterans reach their down payment goals. All right, so the program we had was for that. $7,500 went to teachers and to firefighters and to police officers. And then veterans got about $10,000. But with veterans, with their type of loan, with their VA loan, they do not have to put a down payment down. Okay, so that's one of the great benefits of having the veteran type of loan. So both Freddie Mae and Freddie Mac, they provide down payment assistance. And here it's added for first-time homebuyers living in majority Latino communities. Freddie Mac also has options designed specifically for homebuyers with modest credit scores and limited funds for a down payment. All right. This one here mentions a 3x3 program. Now, um, on my blog page, and let me just show that quickly, you have the links there um, to the different grant programs. So if you go, and this was published on June 19th, and they will have links to the various programs that are out there. If you go to my website, realestatewithmrg.blog, okay? The one they did not have a link to was the 3x30. The 3x30 program lays out actionable strategies to add 3 million new black homeowners by 2030. These programs offer valuable resources for potential buyers, making it easy to secure down payments and realize their dream of home ownership. Okay? And there is also a website for Native Americans. That link works. For Native Americans, the down payments resource highlights 42 U.S. homebuyer assistance programs across 14 states that ease the path to home ownership by providing support with down payments and other associated costs. So there's a good amount of programs out there. So again, you could use my blog posts and click on those links to find out about just a handful of them. But when you speak to your mortgage loan officer, ask him or her if they know of any type of grant programs. Ask around. And it's different from each state, okay? So it's not concurrent across the 50 states of America. So you have to find out what's available in your area. A lot of wonderful programs out there. Okay, so I have a video now that is dealing more with, it was more of a topic that we covered last week about, listing your home without using an agent. So I'm going to show that now. And again, I could help you find that home anywhere within the United States and list that home anywhere within the United States of America. Okay? So definitely on the selling side, when you're selling a home, you really, well, I don't want to say really. I was in a conversation with someone on social media. She said she sold 3 homes on her own. And she said with social media, it made it a lot easier. And that's her profession, right? She's in the business of real estate, a full-time real estate person in the sense of an investor, buying homes, selling homes. If she sold 3 homes, it's not her own homes that she was occupying. All right. So she understands the industry. She understands the paperwork that's involved. Um, and I guess she has the time to do showings. When you hire a listing agent to list your property, you're paying for a service. Real estate agents, realtors, we always have these buzzwords. Well, do you want to save money or do you want to make money? And um, it's simple math. If you know how to go about it, and you could sell a property on your own, and you could save from 3 to 6% of the cost of that property. You may still uh, list it on your own. You're not doing the 3% there, but you might pay 3% to a buyer's agent. And with the changes that are coming with the NAR settlement, um, it may be that the buyer who's using that agent will have to pay his or her commission, or they will have that option. So you would save money if you list it and sell it on your own. But do you have time to do all that? Do you understand the market? Do you understand the pricing of the home? All right. Do you have time to be there all the time for showings when agents come by and they say, "Well, I'm in the neighborhood, sold your house for sale. Uh, can I come over now? Are you going to uh, do the logistics to that, setting those all up? Are you going to do open houses on your own?" So that's the point when I'm saying you're paying for a service, and this is being done by the listing agent. So definitely when it comes to selling a home, I truly recommend using an agent. Now, even on the buying side, it's good to have an agent, right, to represent you. Again, an agent who knows the market, who knows what the prices of the homes should be that you're looking at. Um, they could do a CMA on a property that you want to purchase to make sure that it is priced correctly. And all of this is very, very important. Now, depending how this settlement ends up, it may be the option for the buyer themselves to pay for that service. In the past, it's been the seller who's been paying for that service for the buyer or for the agent who was representing the buyer. But sellers began to say, why should I do that? Why should I pay for their representation? Now, they could still do that. The seller could still pay for it. But I'm thinking there's a good chance that they're going to be saying no. Or they might say, well, I'll throw in 1% or so, but not 3%. Okay, on a $500,000 home, that's $15,000. So if you're already giving $15,000 to your listing agent, another $15,000 for buyer's representation, that's a lot of money. So there's a total of $30,000. So are you willing to do that? It's going to be a lot of changes in the industry, and we'll see what happens. But in the long run, it's still good to have representation. Okay? Now, with that in mind, on my blog site, now I know they still say the spring 2024 edition, but now I do have the summer one up there. The guide for selling your home, the guide for buying a home. You could download it for free. And where could you get this wonderful thing? You could get this at realestatewithmrg.blog/resource-materials. but you still should use an agent. This is just guides to help you out. So that's there for you to download for free. Okay, so let's get rid of these. And there we go. So I hear from my producer, Isabella, that you might have footage of me when I was on the Art Link Letter show when I was a little kid. Is that true?
Mr. G, great news. We found video footage of you when you appeared on the Art Linkletter show called Art Linkletter and the Kids. We would like to share it with your audience. Please enjoy.
Art Linkletter and the Kids. Join us for 15 minutes of unrehearsed, unpredictable fun with children. Starring kids from 2 to 10. With the Pied Piper of TV and radio, the people are funny man, Art Linkletter.
I forgot when I did that. Yeah, I was just a little kid when I was on the Art Linkletter show. But thank you, Isabella, for finding that, and sharing it with my audience. Okay. I am going to do a special podcast on the NAR settlement as we get closer to summer when they have the final ruling on it. And I'll give you my viewpoints on it and the next steps, what agents have to do, as well as buyers and sellers. So we'll do a special podcast on that. I think that's very important. All right, so I think that's all I wanted to cover, and that's great. I did it under 30 minutes, which I think that's a good thing. So we'll see you next week. We've had a lot of hot weather, and I hope you're taking care of yourself with this hot weather and cooling off at beaches and at pools and staying in air conditioning when it gets super hot out. But be careful, and always remember the greatest power we have is love, and the greatest gift to each other. And I'll see you next week.